First of all, can we take a moment for the fact that I'm actually wearing color? Spring is approaching and I just wanted to add a little pop of color to my wardrobe. What do you think? I picked up this bodysuit from Zara. I will link it down below if I can find it. But besides that, in today's video, I will be spilling all of my secrets. I'm gonna share with you my tips and tricks on how to get an instant facelift using only makeup. I know, no Botox needed, no needles, just makeup brushes. I'm gonna show you guys how I lift my eyes, lift my cheeks to get that really sculpted effect. So if you guys are interested in seeing how I get that model look without actually being a model, make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. It is completely free. Like this video and turn on your post notifications so that way YouTube will notify you when I upload, which is every Monday and Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. With that being said, let's zoom in, let's get started because I'm really, really excited for this look. So let's go. Let's go. All right, you guys, so we are nice and zoomed in and we're ready to go. Well, not really, because I have to do a little bit of skin prep. You guys know in some of my previous video, I've been putting a lot of emphasis on skin prep for very good reasons. It's super important that you prep your skin before makeup because if you have a good base, you have a good face. Okay. Your makeup is only gonna look good as the skin underneath. I cannot stress that enough to you guys. So I'm gonna go in with this. I've been using this quite a bit. This is the Summer Fridays Cloud Dew Oil-Free Gel Cream. This is actually what the formula looks like. Very, very nice, and it feels very, very moisturizing on the skin. So I'm gonna take a generous amount of this and just work it in. Let's do the damn thing. Now, one thing I really love about this moisturizer in general is that it's very, very thin on the skin. So it's not too heavy to the point where it's gonna mess up or interfere with my makeup on top. So it is very thin and lightweight, which I like. And if you guys hear a little bit of snoring, Baby Luna is in the room with me, always near, never far, since moving into this house. She has not been able to stop following me. If she sees me going up the stairs, she's just like, where are you going? I'll put a little video insert right here of her actually walking up the stairs. Melts my heart every time I see it. Literally the cutest thing in the world because you guys know she had back surgery a few months back and we weren't sure if she was gonna be able to walk, and now she's walking up 2 flights of stairs. So very, very heartwarming. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go in with some eye patches. Y'all know what's up. The Skin Iceland eye patches are incredible. These are the Hydro Cool Firming Eye Gels. I will have them listed down below. I have several packs of these because they are just that good. They're the type of eye patches that are not sopping wet, so they're not gonna slip and slide all over your face. Plus, they're really good for catching fallout when doing your eye makeup. So since we're gonna be working on the eyes first, I'm just gonna pop these right underneath my eyes. So for today's video, I will be primarily working with matte eyeshadows. So you could definitely use whatever matte eyeshadow palette you have in your collection. Today, I'm just gonna use this one right here by Makeup by Mario. This is called the Master Matte Eyeshadow Palette, and it really is the prettiest all matte eyeshadow palette I have ever used. I used it once before and I was so obsessed with the blend and just how everything melted together. Sometimes I feel like mattes can be a little harder to formulate because sometimes they just don't blend right, but these blend incredible on the eye. So the first shade I'm gonna take is this one right here, and I'm just going to lightly dust this in my crease. I'm gonna take it in the inner socket, and then I'm gonna take it right here in the outer socket, but I'm gonna keep it pretty high on my lid because I want to lift the eye up. I don't want to drag it too far down because I don't want the eye to be drugged down. So just really gonna focus this in that crease area, but I'm gonna keep it pretty high up. I'm just gonna keep going with the same color in the same area. And the more and more I layer it, the deeper it's gonna get. I'm just using an M441 brush by Morphe. It is a rather fluffier blending brush, but I like it because it really diffuses the product in more of an airbrush finish, which you guys know I am all about. So now I'm gonna go in between this shade and the shade right here, and I'm gonna start topping it in the outer part of the eye. I'm using that same brush, and again, I'm flicking it in an upwards motion, but I don't want to take it too high above that transitional color, so I am going to take it in the same upwards motion, but just slightly below the transitional shade. So one thing I love to do and something I've been loving to do for such a long time is taking more of a bone colored shadow. So I'm gonna take this one right here in the Makeup by Mario palette, and I'm gonna tap it on my brow bone and just blend it downwards. This acts as my magic eraser. So in the event that I take my shadow a little too high, just placing a little bit of this at the highest point of my brow bone just gives it more of like that cat eye shape. Do you see what I did there? Like just putting it right here, just really drop the shadow down a little bit, and it's giving me that curvature to my eye, which is exactly what I'm looking for. So what's really gonna transform this look and really just take it to the next level is the liner. I've recently discovered a really stellar liner technique whenever I'm doing my eye makeup that really helps lift the eye as opposed to close off the eye. I used to take my liner and drag it all the way right here in the inner corner, and what I didn't realize is that I was making my eyes look a lot smaller. And if I was just to put the liner right here in the outer V and then just stop right here as I get to the center of my eye, it's going to give me more of a cat eye, an elongated eye effect. So that's exactly what I'm gonna be doing. I am gonna try a new liner. This one is by Makeup by Mario. This is the Master Pigment Pro pencil in the shade The Perfect Brown. What I like about it and what really draws me to it is the fact that it comes with an eyeliner on one side, and then you have the little smudger here, which should work perfect for smudging out the eyeliner. So what I like to do is I like to take just a little bit of it and I'll drag it right here alongside the outer V. Oh wow, that is a beautiful brown. And once I have it placed, I will take the opposite end of the brush. Usually I will use more of an angled brush, but since I have this, I'm just gonna use it to kind of smudge out that line. And as you can see, I'm not taking it all the way in. I'm stopping right there, right when I get to the middle of my eye. Then I'm gonna take it in the outer part and I'm just gonna flick it up. And I wanna make sure I flick it up as opposed to flicking it out, because flicking it up is gonna give me, again, that lifted and elongated effect. So sadly, the smudger part of this eyeliner brush really isn't doing it for me. So I'm gonna take this brush right here by ColourPop, and I'm gonna take a little bit of that liner on it, and then I'm gonna use this to smudge it out. I don't know, I just have more control with this. So the next brown I'm gonna go into is this one right here in the second row. I'm gonna take a little bit of that shadow and I'm gonna use it to set down that liner just a little bit. I'm also going to go in with more of a blending brush, so like this one right here by Morphe. This is an M433, and with a little bit of that brown, I'm going to just lightly blend it over top of that crayon eyeliner to give me more of a smoky effect. I'm telling you guys, a good smoky brown liner is it. It is all the rave. It looks so good on so many different eye shapes, skin tones, eye colors. Like, it's unreal. I'm also gonna take a little bit of that black eyeshadow and I'm lightly gonna tap it closest to the base here. This is really gonna give me that volume and just that dimension. I'm not gonna take it at the top though. I'm just putting it right here at the base. I love doing this step. I feel like it really just transforms the look. To do that step, you can even use a brush like this. This is more of like a flat definer brush, and I like it because it's super, super slim. This is an ABH number 20 brush, and it's easy to just stamp it closest to the lash line without really having to buff or blend it out. Then with a little bit more of that brown, I'm just going to buff and blend. So for me personally, the color I'm gonna take onto my lid is this peachy tone right here. I'm just going to tap it directly over top of the area where I put the concealer, and I'm even gonna mix in a little bit of this ivory shade just to add more brightness, but for the most part, I wanted to use the peach so that way it's nice and subtle. You can definitely see a really big difference between this eye and this eye. I haven't put any mattes on over here. This eye just gives it more of that soft glam, and I am just going to just elongate the shadow right here a little bit because it was looking a little cut off, and it's looking a lot better now. So now that that's done, I'm gonna remove my under eye patches, and it just feels so good, and they instantly look hydrated. Like, my under eye area soaked up all of the moisture in those eye patches, if you can't tell. The next step to really get that lifted eye effect is to go in with a little bit more of that potted concealer. And I'm gonna take it on more of like a fluffy brush. And what I'm gonna do with this is I'm gonna clean up the outer part of my eye with this concealer. And the reason I'm using a brush as opposed to a makeup wipe is because I want this edge to be as soft as possible. If I was to use a makeup wipe, I would have a very, very sharp line, and that's not what I want. I want very soft and diffused edges. So that's why I'm going in with a brush like this, because it cleans it up, but it keeps it soft. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go in with false lashes. Now the key to really get that lifted eye look is to go in with a lash that's not gonna completely cover your entire eye. You wanna go in with a lash that flicks out towards the ends, like these right here. These are the Salon Perfect Winged Demi Collection lashes in the style 692. Now these are a little bit more fuller, so they are gonna be more dramatic. So if you want something a little bit more toned down, just opt for a lash very similar in style, but just not as fluffy and is not as full. I do already have a lash that I've pre-trimmed, so I do like to trim these pretty short. So as you can see, it's sitting pretty far out. It doesn't cover all of this area right here. I feel like people really go wrong with their lash, and they go in with a lash that's very thick and it sits super close in this area, and it really just closes off your eye as opposed to giving you that lifted cat eye effect. So that's why I like to trim my lashes pretty short, and then I'll fill in the front part with a little bit of mascara, and it looks so good. Let me tell you, you guys have to try it at home. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go in with a little bit of the Revlon So Fierce mascara, and this is key. Whenever you are doing this step, you definitely have to go in with a little bit of mascara, especially right here towards the front of the lash. So I'm really gonna take my time to coat these lashes here, so that way it looks like it all connects. You can definitely see the difference between this eye here and this eye over here with no mascara in the inner part. I'm also gonna take a little bit towards the base of my lash and the false lash, just so that way everything blends together. Once that's done, I'm gonna go in with my handy dandy Revlon lash curler, and I'm gonna pinch my lash with the false lash, just to get a better blend and a little bit more of like a curl. Another thing I have to do, especially with this step, is just go in with a little bit of eyeliner here. And it really is just the slightest bit, just to connect that false lash. Another way that you can create an instant facelift is by cutting off this part of your brow and drawing it outwards for more of an elongated brow, as opposed to a brow that has more of like a curvature to it. I'm personally not gonna do that because I do personally love my brow shape, so we're gonna skip over that, but that's definitely an option for those of you who want that instant brow lift. I'm gonna go in with this. I've been seeing this all over TikTok. This is the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Niacinamide Dew Drops. It's gonna give you the ultimate glow. I did already put on moisturizer, but I heard you can put this on after moisturizer. You can put it over top of your makeup, so that is a win. All in itself, I also really love the way this smells. Now that that's done, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of primer. I will be using this one right here by Giorgio Armani. This is the Luminous Silk Hydrating Face Primer. I personally have really been loving my base combination recently, so I can't say I'm gonna be reaching for anything else anytime soon, but I'm just gonna put this all over. This definitely gives me a moisturized, very smoothing effect to the skin, and since I want the skin to be insanely natural, I'm just putting this all over. Cause your girl wants to glow. Another thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with the Rare Beauty Liquid Illuminizer. This is like my favorite product of all time. I have not been able to put this down. The shade I'm using is Mesmerize, and what I like to do is I'll take a little bit of this right here, and then I'll take a little bit more over here. I'll blend it out with like a brush or a sponge, really whatever I have next to me. I'm just gonna use this beauty blender, and I'm just lightly gonna tap into the skin, and instantly you're gonna be able to see just how beautiful this leaves the skin. I like to put this on first because it really peeks through my concealer and my foundation, and it gives me the prettiest glow I have ever seen. Do you see that? I'm telling you guys, do this step. You will not regret it. Now I'm gonna go in with this right here. This is by Laura Mercier. This is the Secret Camouflage Brightening and Correcting Duo. I've really been loving this, but I'm sure you guys knew that. I am struggling with some blemishes per usual, so I'm gonna take the correcting side and I'm just going to conceal these little areas here. And I'm also gonna take just a little bit here underneath my eyes to color correct. Then with a clean brush, I'm just going to buff and blend this out. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with a little bit of my Fenty Matchstick. This is in the shade Mocha. And I'm gonna use this to contour before I go in with my foundation for more of a natural effect. Now, whenever I'm contouring, I like to keep this up pretty high on the skin. I'm not taking it down too low. This is gonna lift up the cheeks and just give me that chiseled effect. So you kind of want to keep it like where you would put your blush and then just go up, never drag it down. So far, things are looking phenomenal. They are looking so incredibly good. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go in with the Luminous Silk Foundation by Armani. You guys know when I used this a few videos back, I became so obsessed with it and I have not been able to put it down since. So this is my foundation of choice. I do apologize in advance. It's just a product I've really been loving. So I'm gonna start in the center of my face and I'm just gonna start working my way outwards. So that way I don't get that horrid foundation line. I also find that the Luminous Silk Foundation is perfect for those natural skin days because it never looks cakey or anything like that on the skin. It always looks so flawless. It also has medium to buildable coverage, so you could definitely build this up to full-on coverage. But because I took all the steps I did before going in with foundation, I'm just gonna keep it at medium coverage. So this right here is just one layer of the foundation. As you can see that liquid illuminizer peeking through. You could also see that cream contour peeking through in such a beautiful and natural way. Again, try it out at home. I really hope you guys will try these tips and tricks and let me know you guys' thoughts either in the comments or over on Instagram, because I'd love to know how they're working for you. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go in with concealer. I recently picked this up here from Dior. It was highly recommended by my girl Sam from Samage. So I wanna try it out, but I think I need to go even lighter. I got 2.5N, so I may need to go lighter, but I wanna try this out. Yeah, I definitely need to go just a little bit lighter because it's more alongside the color of my foundation, but it's all right. I'm actually gonna use a little bit of this and then I'm gonna mix in a little bit of my e.l.f. 16-hour camo concealer. Another tip I wanna give you guys when it comes to concealer is to just tap it out until it gets tacky and then go in and set it. If you try to set your concealer when it's way too wet when you go to set it, the concealer and the powder are gonna mesh together in a weird way and it's gonna look very kind of crepey and cakey. So I'm gonna use the Collab Set the Stage setting powder because it is one of my favorites. You can find this powder within Sally Beauty stores. I like to pick some up, tap some in my hand, and then I'll just use this to set the inner part of my eye. I'm not gonna use this to set my entire face because I still am going for a very dewy and natural effect. For actual setting powder, I wanna use this today. This is a new product by Kosas. This is the Cloud Set setting powder in the shade Feathery. I will be using this lightly all around my face and I'm obsessed with the formula. It looks so beautiful and natural on the skin and that's exactly what I want. I still want more of that natural luminous finish, but I want minimal shine. So for blush, bronzer, and highlight, I will be using some newer products today. I will be using the new blush and bronzer duos by Jaclyn Cosmetics. I have two shades here. This one is in the shade Sunkissed, so this one definitely is more pink. And then I have another one in Warm Flush, which pulls a little more peach. I feel like this one in itself is right up my alley, so I'll probably be using this one in today's video. I'm gonna take the bronzer shade and I'm gonna use this to bronze the skin. I did already contour with the cream product, but now I'm gonna bronze. So I'm gonna go in big circular motions. Now, even though I'm bronzing, I am pulling this up pretty high and I'm not dragging it down low. I'm also gonna use the opposite end of this brush. This brush is by Hourglass. You definitely don't need this brush. It's just a brush I love to use for a step similar to this. And then with the smaller side, I'm gonna take this onto my forehead. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go in with the blush, and I'm gonna take it on a Smashbox blush brush. This is probably one of my favorite brushes for applying blush. So I'm just gonna keep it pretty high. In order to get that lifted effect, you wanna keep the blush very, very high up on your cheekbone or on your cheek. You don't wanna put it right here because it's not going to give you that lifted effect. So I like to keep it pretty high up, closest to my brow. So I'm actually gonna be using a couple more products from Jaclyn Cosmetics. I do wanna use the Moonlight Face Powder in the shade Do Me. I recently started using this again because she obviously brought them back. I stopped using them because people couldn't get their hands on it, and I hate to use limited edition products on my channel. But now that this is a part of the permanent collection, I will definitely be using it a lot more. I love that this is a luminous powder, so it's really gonna add that luminosity to the skin without looking like chunky glitter or anything like that. Since we are going for that natural effect, I feel like this powder is going to be perfect for this look and for this video. So I took a little bit onto the cap. By the way, mine is in the holiday packaging, but she did re-release these in her original standard packaging, so that's why mine's may look a little bit different than yours. But I'm gonna swirl my brush in the cap, and I'm gonna take this onto my forehead, and as you can see, it's adding that really, really beautiful glow. I'm also going to take this right here onto the apples of my cheeks, and I'm only going to take this powder onto my cheeks. This is really just going to give me that glow from within without looking like chunky glitter or anything like that. I do need to pick up just a little bit more, but as you can see, this just gives me that luminosity without being glittery, and that's what I love most about it. Now there's no way I'm gonna get away with not contouring my nose in this video, so I'm gonna do that really quick, and then we'll be right back and finish off with the lips. Another thing I'm gonna do to really give me that lifted effect is take a little bit of my loose powder and just put it directly underneath that bronzer and blush. Now I'm just taking a brush and dusting off that powder, and you can see it really just cleans up the nose a little bit more. You can even go in with some of your face powder. Since I'm not using a face powder that's super full coverage, I'm not sure that this is gonna work the same, but I'm just gonna use the Kosas face powder and then just lightly dust it on top of my nose, so that way it's not as in your face. This just gives you more of a subtle, natural nose contour. I'm also gonna use that powder to dust away that bake underneath to give it more of a natural effect. Another thing I'm gonna make sure I do is take a little bit of that blush and then just put some onto my nose. I feel like it gives you a really pretty, like, cutesy effect. And then of course, I'm gonna take the highlight. I'm gonna use ice for this step, so the beaming highlight, and I'm just gonna stick it onto the tip of my nose. We love a beaming highlight. Do you see what I mean when I say that that is like beaming? Anyways, let's finish things off with the lips. I will be using the Patrick Ta Precision Lip Crayon in the shade Oh She's Single to line my lips. And then I'm going to be filling them in with the matching lipstick. I recently picked these up at Sephora, but I also wanted to let you guys know that I am now a Patrick Ta ambassador. So if you guys want to shop on patrickta.com, you can use AMarie15 at checkout to save 15% off. And his products are well worth the money. I've been a Patrick Ta stan way before I was an ambassador, so had to fact check you. Just save some coin. That's what it's here for. Ma'am, this lip color, ma'am. Wow, ma'am. Ooh, she's creamy, she's buttery, she's moisturized, and oh, she's single. Ooh. So you guys already know I had to hit you with that good zoom. This right here is the final and completed look from start to finish on how to get an instant face look without the needles, without the Botox, just makeup and makeup brushes. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. I honestly had a lot of fun filming this video, and to be completely honest, this could very well be the makeup I wear on my wedding day. It's so natural, it's so timeless, it's that perfect soft glam with that nude lip that will literally look good on any and everyone. So again, let me know what other videos you guys want me to film. So I've actually been ranting on Instagram stories for a minute now. If you guys don't follow me over on Instagram, you totally should, because I mean, I do little mini rants over there, and I love to connect with you guys and chit chat with you guys via DMs. I'm actually talking about a show on Netflix called Firefly Lane. They talk about any and everything under the sun, from drug abuse to being raped to addiction. I said that, drug abuse is addiction, to being divorced, married, living the single life, starting a family, your dog passing away, literally everything under the sun. Like, you grow through what you go through, and that show hits so many different points. Everybody takes a different path in their life. So I feel like any and everyone will be able to relate to that show. So check it out, Firefly Lane on Netflix. Let's talk about it down below in the comments. And if you guys enjoyed this video, how to get an instant facelift using makeup products, again, let me know, and let me know what other videos you guys want me to film. With that being said, I'm gonna go. I've been rambling on Instagram, now here. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and until next time, I'll be sure to catch you guys all on the next one. Deuces.